No, I hate him. No, it's not that. It's not working. I just have it muted because I was listening to something else trying to vet another video, but I don't think I'm gonna watch it. But yeah, no, I know it's not making a video. I just have to. I was eating food and I was trying to vet another video, but no, fuck Ben Shapiro. I'm about to dunk on him because I'm gonna go through this video, but I want to vet another one, but it turns out I'm not gonna do it. So if you want to stay with me, dude, we'll watch this together as one big happy family. Just give me a second. All right. Because, well, I'm not gonna. I guess not him. This guy's probably talking, right? I just want to see what the fuck's up with this.
See people who are brought up in religious homes and they're taught the stories of the Bible. They're never taught any deeper philosophy or theology that attaches to that. So they have sort of a children's eyes view of what God is and how to think about God. Sort of think of God still as the old man in the sky who's controlling things. What in your opinion is the most reasonable proof of God? What have you found to be the most convincing proof of God's existence?
Well, I think that those are two questions. For me, my favorite argument for the existence of God that I find the most compelling is a version of the cosmological argument, which goes like this. Whatever begins to exist has a cause.
You are already making me want to injure myself in a video game. Everything that starts has a.
Something can't just come into being from nothing. Secondly, the universe began to exist. I think we have both good philosophical arguments and scientific evidence for the finitude of the past, from which it follows. Third, therefore, the universe has a cause. And when you do a conceptual.
This is my favorite religious argument that everyone, the God of the Gaps argument. Okay, so the universe was caused by something. Therefore, it was Jeebus. It's like, okay, so that means that your entire book is totally useless to you because none of that applies to the rest of science. Like if you're religious and you agree with the Big Bang Theory, then you have to throw out all your other fucking values and shit because, or like anything else the Bible has taught you, because that's not how it works. For the Big Bang Theory to happen, all other physical properties in the universe have to also exist. Because basically you're just saying that he just pressed the button and then it happened. Because, right? So like if Jeebus was the guy who set off the Big Bang Theory, then he also didn't create the Earth because and humans, because then there would be no need for the Big Bang because, well, what's the, like, why would you Big Bang and then do another thing? What the fuck? I'm confused. Sorry, my dad's just texting me. Yeah, but you can't just Big Bang and then be like, okay, well, he Big Banged and then like 4 billion years passed and then he made the Earth. It's like, no, it's not how it fucking works.
Conceptual analysis of what it is to be a cause of the universe, you arrive at a being which is an uncaused, beginningless, timeless, spaceless, enormously powerful, personal creator of the universe. So for me, that is a very convincing argument for
how is that
enormously powerful, personal, which is an uncaused, conceptual analysis of what.
My favorite too is that they always just drip this out of their brain. It's like, okay, well, if there's, so if the Big Bang Theory had a cause and that cause was Jesus, then who caused Jesus? Who caused God then? Oh, he's uncausable. Okay, well then you just broke your own evidence. Like
a cause of the universe, you arrive at a being which is an uncaused, beginningless, timeless, spaceless, enormously powerful.
Or not that, right? It's like, okay, how do I make this fit? Okay, well, okay, so everything that exists must have a beginning. So the universe has a beginning, because we know that Big Bang Theory meant something started it. So the cause for that was clearly Jeebus, and Jeebus doesn't have a cause. Okay, there we go. Now we've dove out of that excuse that he also needs a cause because, well, fuck it. You know what? Screw it. Because, you know what? Who cares? We have to have, everything needs to have a cause except for God, because he's not really in existence. He's just kind of half in existence, and then like, yeah, no, exactly. Like, the God of the Galaxy argument, the fucking, oh, well, trees are very detailed, so that's suggestive of a creator, right, guys? When you look at a watch, You know it's been created by somebody. It's yeah, because I've watched people make watches. I know that humans create watches. I don't know of a single human being who can build a tree by hand. But we know that through fucking biological investigation or research, how a tree grows. So we know that that's like a nature thing, and we're trying to figure out what. It's so fucking dumb, unbelievably stupid. Like there's one person. Fuck, I want to find the video. Oh no, I already did a response to the video. Did I do a response to the video? No. Okay. No. Yeah. Because Destiny was talking with Kent Hovind, and Kent Hovind said that we don't have an explanation for how the universe is, or how the solar system is formed. But I have this book, How to Speak Science, and I forgot I had it, and I didn't post the video because of it, but I'll do it now. So Ken Hovind was trying to explain like how it doesn't make sense that the universe, that the solar system came into existence, whatever. Like all of it could have happened in 6,000 years, but we do actually have an explanation for how the universe is set up. I think there's three explanations for how our solar system formed, and one of them is more likely than the other two, or one of them is less likely. I'm not sure. Either two of them are like up for debate, and one of them's kind of or one of them is more like definitive than the rest. But if I go the solar system, if I go to, I think it's page 100, formation of the solar system. If I just read this passage like a Bible. Formation of the solar system. In space, we find hydrogen in large quantities. We also find heavier elements that are residue, the remains of a star that exploded. All these thingamajiggies tranquilly drift through space, a cloud of gases, dust, and debris, until the cloud becomes large enough and dense enough to begin forming hydrogen gas, H2. This kind of cloud is called a molecular cloud. To our knowledge, approximately 4.5 billion years ago, a molecular cloud drifted serenely through our galaxy. It was large enough to span between 7,000 and 20,000 astronomical units. An astronomical unit is the average distance between Earth and the Sun, exactly half the distance between the point where Earth is farthest from the Sun and the point where Earth is nearest to the Sun. So an astronomical, this is just us to the Sun on average, which is 93 million miles to the power of 40. Really? Wait, what? Why is there a 40 there? 93 million miles to the power of 40. Why is that a thing? Hold on. Unless, of course, that's it. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, it's not the power. That's how they do their notes. So on most things, I usually see like an asterisk or like a symbol. For them, it's numbered. So 40 is just the definition for it. 93 million miles, 40. I go down here by 40. By definition, its exact value is holy fuck. 100, is that 100 million or 100 billion meters away? It's 100 billion meters away. 149 billion 597,870,700 meters away is the distance from Earth to the Sun, or Sun to the Earth. The cloud's mass is just a little more of than the mass of our Sun, and it is about to become our solar system. This cloud is large enough and dense enough to begin slowly, gently collapsing in on itself under the influence of its own gravity. Just a tiny bit more mass somewhere around the middle. Here we go. Even though all the particles in this cloud seem to move away any which way they want, the entire cloud has an average overall motion. You could say the whole cloud rotates around itself. This is important. In space, the laws of mechanics tell us that this rotational motion has no reason to stop, so long as no force comes along to change it. In practice, we call that conservation of angular momentum. This is the reason the solar system will be flat. The cloud begins to consolidate as it continues to spin and swirl. Basically, what that's describing is that the universe, we had a massive cloud, and then because of gravity, that slowly started to come together. But when you have an object that moves, it wants to, it basically adds a spin to it. So it's not like everything just instantly goes towards the middle. Things will kind of have a different trajectory because everything's moving through space, so you change it a little bit, and because of that, stuff starts to rotate, and that's important because that's how the solar system I currently have appears to be pretty flat, which will probably be described later. But basically, this whole fucking passage, if I just read it out, completely annihilates Kent Hovind's description of how the universe or how our solar system is formed, and it was just the most painful thing to look at in my entire existence. Why am I getting a million? Whatever. So let's see what's going on.
Personal creator of the universe. So for me, that is a very convincing argument for
Well, you're just an
God.
idiot. Sorry, buddy.
But I find that with university students, that's not the most convincing argument.
Of course it's not,
You
because
can
it's
ignore
moronic.
philosophical arguments for the finitude of the past or scientific evidence for the beginning of the universe. But the argument that they find, I think, the most compelling is what I call the moral argument. And it would
I might jump into a video game and jump off a bridge.
go like this. One, if God does not exist, then objective moral values and duties do not exist.
You're 100% correct.
That is to say, in the absence of God, everything becomes socioculturally relative.
Yep.
Two,
Which is 100% true. Do you want to know evidence for this? Well, back when slavery was a thing, everybody thought it was okay, or a large majority of people thought slavery was okay. Now we see that as morally disgusting and horrible, right? People within the Nazi Party thought that they were doing the right thing. Everybody, all morality is super subjective. So that's why, like, psychopaths, it's stupid for you to tell us, like, if somebody kills, if you want to rehabilitate somebody when they do something wrong, you don't just tell them that what they did was wrong and give them no other information. Like, if somebody steals something from you and you're like, oh, idiot, why would you steal this from me? Or you're disgusting for stealing this, or what? Like, you don't give like a reason or like a why they did it wrong. They just be like, okay, well, I mean, to me it was a good idea to like, if you steal an apple from a cart because you're fucking starving to death, and the vendor goes, fucking idiot, why would you steal this? And then like just kind of leaves you or whatever, you're just be like, well, or some, I don't know what kind of question you would ask to someone who's stealing a fucking apple, because clearly that's like an okay thing to do. But if you literally think that this guy's like deserves jail because he stole a fucking apple, you're clearly moronic. I don't know. It's so stupid. But yes, obviously, morality is subjective as fuck because we constantly change what we deem moral and immoral. So a current day evolution is with veganism, right? Potentially in the future, we may view killing animals the same way we do slavery right now. It's obvious. It's like super clear. Like, I don't know what kind of explanation you have then for slavery existing, for the Dark Ages existing, for any kind of torture. Like, why is the guillotine not a suitable form of death anymore? Because it turns out to be gruesome. Why don't public executions happen anymore?
but objective moral values and duties do exist. There are some moral absolutes, some objective values and duties. 3, therefore God exists.
Okay, wait. Can you name a couple of the objective moral things?
Now, this is an argument which is impossible, I think, to ignore, because every
it's really easy to destroy, though.
day you get up,
Yeah.
you answer by how you treat other people, whether you regard them as having intrinsic moral value or whether they are mere means to be used for your ends. And so,
but that's absolutely true. Every time you do any kind of action, it turns out through research that pretty much nobody can be a truly selfless human being. Any action you perform will benefit you in some way, and that's the only reason you do it, right? So why do you, like, let's say, why do you give money to the homeless person? That's a detriment to you. You're losing money and you're giving it to the homeless person. But more than likely, the reason you do it is because you get an endorphin boost and feel very good about yourself for that time being. That's why you do it. It's not because you want that other human being to be, because you feel better by making him feel better. That's 99% of the reason why you do everything. That's like, this is why libertarian free will doesn't fucking exist. Like, why do people just randomly leave my chat? I was hoping to have a discussion with this dude. Anyways, so yeah, like, all these things have.
So this argument, I find, tends to be the most convincing for.
Well, too bad it's not
people.
most convincing, because it turns out that our morality is super subjective, and 99% of the stuff that you do is for your own benefit. All right.